Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. We are live in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. My name is Obiageli Ugoke. Let's take the headlines. G7 meets in Hiroshima to tighten screws further on Russia-Ukraine war. Presidential Transition Council unveils activities for 2023 presidential inauguration ceremony. And federal government commends the media for their roles in nation building. Thank you very much for joining us. President Joe Biden has arrived in Japan to attend the G7 Hiroshima Leaders Summit. The U.S. president will join other heads of the world's advanced democracies for 3 days from Friday in the western Japanese city for talks on international issues. Charles Afa brings us the details.
U.S. President Joe Biden landed in Japan Thursday to attend the G7 summit in Hiroshima, leaving behind tense talks with Republican opponents in Washington on averting a U.S. debt default. The G7 leaders will meet through Sunday, after which Biden will return to Washington. The 7 leaders are in Japan to weigh tighter sanctions on Russia and protection against China's economic coercion, surrounded by reminders about the harrowing cost of war. President Joe Biden greeted Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida by saying countries stand together and stand stronger, a sign of how the economic and national security alliance between the two countries have grown.
As you said back in January when you were at the White House, the agenda this year, and I'm looking forward to our meetings in the days ahead.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is hosting leaders from 6 other democracies in his hometown, a city synonymous with nuclear destructions and now pepped with peace monuments. Over 3 days, leaders including U.S. President Joe Biden will try to forge a united front on Russia, China, and a host of other pressing issues where interests do not always align. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Turning to International Day for Monuments and Sites, every year on April 18th, the world celebrates World Heritage Day, also known as International Day of Monuments and Sites, to raise awareness of the value of historical, cultural and patriotic monuments and the need for prospective measures so that future generations can experience them and appreciate the rich heritage of the world. The purpose of the World Heritage Day is to honor the unique and diverse cultural heritage that can be found all over the world and to encourage respect for the preservation of it for future generations. The International Council on Monuments and Sites first proposed the idea for World Heritage Day in 1982, and the General Conference of UNESCO adopted it the following year. World Heritage Day has become a key occasion for increasing public awareness of cultural resources since its first commemoration in 1983. The theme for the World Heritage Day 2023 is Heritage Changes. The organization invites participants to focus on continuous and complex narratives about cultural heritage to encourage the development of new discourse based on a respectful and inclusive approach. Addressing erroneous or continuous historical interpretations appears to be critical to preserving the heritage, given that the deterioration or extinction of any cultural prosperity, as stated by the UNESCO in 1954 and 1972 treaties, causes harm to mankind as a whole. And to speak more on the International Day for Monuments and Sites is Professor Albert Tijani, Director General, National Commission for Museums and Monuments. Prof, you're welcome to NTA International.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The theme for the World Heritage Day 2023 is Heritage Changes. Can you share more light on this theme?
Thank you very much. Today is actually the International Museums Day. International Museums Day is a day set aside to create awareness and also to enable the stakeholders and communities to understand, the role museums play in the community. And the theme actually is sustainable development and well-being. And this theme shows that museums are there to, help in implementing the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And among such things to do is to create inclusiveness, within the museum community, and also for outreach programs and educational programs, as well as in areas of research, to enable people within the community and tourists coming to the museums to understand and to see that museums actually play their role in enhancing the Sustainable Development Goals.
Museums are storehouses of old artifacts, sculptures, objects, and history, as well as help preserve and promote cultural heritage. What is the general state of museums across Nigeria?
Well, in Nigeria, a lot of our museums have been in actually deplorable conditions. But since I took over in 2020, I was able to work with our team in the National Commission for Museums and Monuments to improve the museum environment, to upgrade exhibitions in the galleries. And today we can boast that 17 museums across the country are now exhibiting our collections to international standard. So our stakeholders, our visitors and audience will be able to go into the museums comfortably and relate with the objects, not like before when the objects are not really properly developed, displayed, and also the environment doesn't look welcoming. But today we are proud that we are making progress.
All right, Prof. Some Benin bronzes have been repatriated to Nigeria, and the federal government is to construct a museum for them. How far has this been realized?
Well, we are very lucky that Mr. President has directed that we submit our request for the construction of the Benin Royal Museum in Benin City, and also for the construction of National Museum of Unity here in Abuja, which we don't have. So we have done that, and we are looking forward to this process being concluded, so that we will be able to start the construction of museums to house our collections. But also we have in the 2023 budget to also construct storage facilities within the National Museum Benin City to also house some of the collections until our main museums are completed. So that one is going to be concluded by the end of the year.
Thank you very much, Prof. That will be all for now. We appreciate you for coming.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
That was Professor Abba Tijani there speaking on the International Day of Museum and Monuments. Moving on, world leaders in the health sector have recommitted to ending hepatitis by 2030. Basi Taiban reports that they made the commitment in Geneva, Switzerland, at a conference organized by the Hepatitis Fund in collaboration with the Clinton Health Access Initiative, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the Arabic Republic of Egypt.
With an estimated 360 million people walking the streets and reportedly one person dying every 30 seconds and over 1 million persons per year because of hepatitis, and primarily in low and middle income countries. The Executive Director, Hepatitis Fund, wants hepatitis to be seen and dealt with as nothing less than a global public health emergency.
And that is like a health emergency that we don't want to go into, that we can prevent.
We have no excuse to act because the tools to prevent, diagnose and treat viral hepatitis are now available.
Therefore, the conference, which is the first of its kind, is apt, as without a substantial increase in resources for prevention, diagnosis and treatment, deaths due to hepatitis, they noted, will estimatedly outnumber the total deaths due to HIV, TB and malaria combined by 2040.
To date, the Hepatitis Fund has enabled WHO to develop costed national hepatitis plans for 4 countries, enabling them to scale up their response. With further investment, we can replicate this success in more countries.
But now is the time for world leaders to leverage action on national, regional and global levels. From Geneva in Switzerland, Basi Taipa, NTA News.
To politics now, a Nigerian man has won the election as the new mayor of Colorado Springs, a community in the state of Colorado in the United States, becoming the first black man to achieve the political feat. Charles Afa now brings us the detail.
Yemi Mobolade, an independent candidate, defeated his challenger Wayne Williams, a Republican, in the city's runoff contest despite politics-related experience. Colorado Springs has experienced a major political turnaround as a result of Mobolade's victory. With 57% of the vote, Mobolade defeated Williams, who garnered 53%. Williams conceded at about 7:30 p.m. when the second batch of results was released shortly before 9 p.m. The percentages had not shifted. Mobolade will, on 6 June 2023, take over from Mayor John Souters, a former federal prosecutor and Colorado Attorney General who has completed his term of office to become the city's 42nd mayor. Mobolade relocated to Colorado Springs in 2010 and rose to the position of leadership in the local community. He served as the Colorado Springs Chamber and Economic Development Corporation's Vice President of Company Expansion and Retention. Mobolade promised in his speech to get to work on addressing public safety, homelessness, infrastructure, and affordable and attainable housing. Hailed from Lagos, Nigeria, his father worked in finance, ExxonMobil, while his mother was a high school teacher. In August 1996, Mobolade immigrated to the United States. He graduated from Bethel University in 2001 and a master's degree in management and leadership from Indiana Wesleyan University and a Master of Divinity from A.W. Tozer Theological Seminary. Mobolade became a United States citizen in 2017. He and his wife, Abe, have 3 children. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In the meantime, Nigeria has launched a group on Earth observation, also known as GeoNigeria, to improve accessibility to data for a sustainable planet. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports that Nigeria is the second country in Africa to launch the initiative.
Movement from one location to another, mapping of the Earth surface, road network, buildings, places and points of interest are built on Earth observation of high resolution and global positioning satellites. In an era defined by technological advancements and rapid globalization, the importance of Earth observation cannot be overstated. The launch of the group on Earth observation by Nigeria makes it a lens for more valuable insights that will enable informed decisions, mitigate risks, and unlock the tremendous potential for national development.
All the information that you need in the sciences, in health, in agriculture, name it, in the environment. So those are the things that they will have to monitor and then give us necessary information that will assist us in getting better in whatever way.
Key players say Nigeria joins in recognition of the pivotal role Earth observation data plays in driving national security, fiscal development and social economic growth.
When we speak about geo, we are talking about liberalization, democratization of data, where everybody will have access to data, where everybody will have access to information, so that before you take decision, you are informed. So when you take decision, you have no regrets.
The geo system is coming at the right time for Nigeria and for my post in particular, because look at those that are going to make use of the postal code and address system.
Joining the group will give an official structure to the action that Nigeria has been conducting for many years. Now it will give it more structure, more visibility, and more interaction with other countries.
Nigeria is one of the 114 member countries working to develop and deliver Earth observation information and infrastructure in solving global problems. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
And to shed more light on this issue is Dr. Matthew Adekwoju, focal person, Joe, Nigeria. Good to have you in our studio, Dr. Adekwoju.
Thank you very much.
Now, can you please tell us the reason Nigeria joined the group and whether it is coming too late or it is timely?
Oh, of course, Nigeria has been part of GEO for more than 10 years. We have GEO Global, which is in Geneva, and then we have Afri-GEO, which is in Kenya. But in the African continent, it's only South Africa that launched the national GEO before Nigeria, which we launched today by the Honorable Quintessential Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation. So it's a platform upon which national institutions, the active users and producers of the data set, NASA Space Agency being the producers of satellite imageries, is the lead organization in this relationship, because the group on Earth observation comprises of the data producer and then the users of the Earth observation product, satellite imageries. Thank you.
Let's take a look at the benefits. What do you think the people and the government of Nigeria will benefit from being part of the international group?
The benefit is enormous from the international stage, where most of the decisions are taken on the policy direction, the kind of missions to be launched, and then the scientific breakthroughs. Nigeria will benefit by being at the table where such decisions are taken, and international funding that is available for SDG, for climate change, and so on and so forth. We will play a pivotal role. On the African continent, there are so many initiatives that is ongoing which we are not at the table, but launching the GEO Nigeria now, we are going to be among the top-notch that are taking decision on these areas of endeavor.
What impact will the initiative be to Nigeria in terms of saving costs?
Oh, the impact is enormous. First and foremost, this platform will remove the need for different agencies and organizations to use hard-earned money of Nigeria in our currency for the same data set that Ministry of Agri need. Ministry of Transportation and Water Resources can actually use the same data set. So coming together, everybody will know what is available. For example, now the Nigerian Population Commission have acquired nationwide coverage of high-resolution imageries. Same thing, the Office of Postmaster General of the Federation needs this data set. Surveyor General of the Federation needs the same data set, including us in National Space Research and Development Agency. When we come together on a platform like this, we will know what is in different organizations, and that will save the country billions and billions and billions of money from getting what is already being procured by one agency, which others can actually utilize. And from the private sector, the opportunity is abound to push the boundary for scientific breakthrough in applications. And of course, this is already with us in this country. You can stay in your house and order food from the eateries, and then they bring it to your house. All those things are made possible with the Earth observation satellite imageries that is being used for location-based services.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adekwoju. That will be all for now. We appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Matthew Adekwoju there speaking on GEO Nigeria project recently launched. You're watching the news on NTA International. We'll take a break now. More stories when we return. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying tuned. Towards having a smooth and orderly transfer of power from the present administration to the incoming, the Presidential Transition Council has unveiled a series of activities for the 2023 Presidential Inauguration Ceremony. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports.
People say everything that has a beginning must have an end. With few days to the end of the present administration, the Presidential Transition Council has unveiled its program of events to Nigerians.
On Tuesday, the 23rd of May, 2023, there will be a regimental dinner in honor of the Commander-in-Chief at the Armed Forces Officers' Mess. This is strictly in the tradition of the military. On Wednesday, the 24th of May 2023, there will be a valedictory Federal Executive Council session at the Council Chambers in the Presidential Villa. On 25th, which is a Thursday, 2023, investiture of the President-elect and the Vice President-elect with national honor. Friday, the 26th of May 2023, there will be a public lecture at 10 o'clock at the National Mosque, which will be followed subsequently with the Jumat prayers at 1:30. On Saturday, the 27th of May 2023, there will be an inaugural lecture on the topic Deepening Democracy for Integration and Development by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of Kenya. On Saturday, the 27th of May 2023, children's program would also be holding side by side with the inauguration lecture. On Sunday, the 28th May 2023, interdenominational Christian service would hold at the National Christian Center at 10 a.m. in the morning. There will be an inauguration dinner stroke gala night. This will hold at the State House Conference Center at 7 p.m. And on Monday, the 29th of May 2023, which is the D-Day, inauguration parade and swearing in of the newly elected President and the President and President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the Eagle Square at 10 a.m.
The council described the transition as historic based on the trajectory and innovation in the coverage of the event, noting that May 29 will be the 7th consecutive transition of democratic government in Nigeria.
The commitment is to broadcast live the 2023 presidential inauguration in a way that will be uniquely different from the ones in the past.
One area the council is not joking about is the security of people and property during the events.
My only advice is that if you have no business in security, you need not be near the vicinity of the program, especially on the inauguration day.
We don't expect people to come with their vehicles to the Eagle Square, but to those locations. This is important to ensure seamless and safe access into and exit from the venue.
The 5,000 seating capacity Eagle Square will be the venue for the inauguration parade and swearing in of the new president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Away from the presidential inauguration, honor is given to whom it's due. It's the story of Professor Bridget Uzidike, the trailblazer and the third registrar of the Optometrists and Dispensing Opticians Registration Board of Nigeria, as she bowed out of office after completing her 2 tenures in office. Uche Ugochukwu reports that 3 books were unveiled in her honor at the valedictory ceremony in Abuja.
That is the erudite scholar and administrator, Professor Bridget Uzidike, stepping into the admiration of all. The 59-year-old professor is said to have broken many barriers, including becoming the first female registrar of the Optometrists and Dispensing Opticians Registration Board of Nigeria, a position she has successfully held for the past 8 years. Expectedly, encomiums poured out as fellow professionals read out her milestones believed to be engraved in the sands of time.
This Amazon was on her feet, driving optometry and dispensing optician.
The induction of online CPD program, accreditation of new schools of optometry, fight against quackery, among others, are giant testimonies of your stewardship while in office.
She successfully relocated the head office of the agency from Lagos to Abuja as mandated by the federal government of Nigeria.
We are here to celebrate a woman who has significantly impacted both on optometry education and the Nigerian health system.
Like the candle lights which cannot be hidden under a table, her legendary and all-inclusive leadership speaks for itself as authenticated by members of her staff.
I've learned discipline, I've learned hard work, I've learned dedication, I've learned integrity. In fact, and these are all embodiments of her.
Accounts of her great stewardship scripted in this 79-page book and a 6-chapter biography were unveiled to mark the end of her term. And in this 8-chapter book, Professor Uzidike educates clinicians.
The work is detailed. For each topic covered, many facts are built into it and make it rich.
Once you have the confidence, you know what you want to do, ready to seek for advice, ready to accept when you make a mistake, ready to work with the co-workers.
What a privilege for other deserving professionals to get awarded in different capacities. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
That's the news. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Obiageli Ugoke.